In this video, I'll be showing you 15 build moves you must learn to expand your building knowledge and make your mechanics insane. Before the video starts, 99% of you guys are not subscribed, so subscribe, yeah. The first build moves will be completely beginner, so if you are quite experienced, you can skip this part. If not, keep watching. This is the most basic building fundamental to get height. Pros use it, and so do beginners. I'll show you in full speed and explain each one later. So, you start by placing a ramp, then a wall behind the ramp, and one wall, place another wall in front, floor, then ramp again. So the next one is a ramp cone side jump. You start by placing a ramp, then a cone, and you side jump this and place a floor ramp to catch yourself from falling. So this next one is a 180 high wall, and although it might look difficult at first, it's actually pretty easy with some practice. You place a ramp, wall, then do a 180 and a high wall, and then edit the high wall. This can be done infinitely and is good practice to use whenever you can trying to gain height. The Thwifo Cone is an old classic, but yet pretty effective way of retaking height, as it's protective and doesn't take too many materials from you. So you place a stair, then wrap these walls around just like this, jump and place a cone, and you can do this pretty much infinitely. This is how the Thwifo Cone looks from your enemy's POV. Now we move on to the intermediate builds. So if you've been playing the game for more than 1 year, with a bit of practice, you could probably achieve these build moves. So to do this build move, you have to place a ramp, cone, and then 2 high walls in front of the cone. Side jump and repeat. I'd say the only hard part about this build move is more of the movement rather than the actual mechanical building. But as soon as you get the movement done, you can do this pretty naturally. The next build move is one you've probably seen all your favorite pros or streamers already do. So you first place a ramp, then floor, and then cone. Edit them both. Then place a wall and edit that wall. I suggest if you're struggling to do these, to turn off disable pre-edit option, as this adds extra input delay. Next one is called the protective 90s, and for a reason, as it's a really good way to retake height with no openings so you don't get punished. To start this, begin any string of double edit with a cone. Then scissor ramp up to the side, edit the floor, wall, and cone above the stair. Edit the stair whilst jumping, and after that you can free build anything, continuing with protective 90s, with cones, or anything else you want to do. So I assume a lot of you know who Clix is if you play Fortnite or are interested in the competitive scene. He's currently one of the best players in the world, and his Clix 90s are very useful as they are one of the fastest ways to gain height. So how you do this is you place a ramp in front and to the left, then a floor ramp on your left, then another floor ramp in front. This can be looped infinitely. So this one you should use only once in game if you really need to, as it uses a lot of materials. Or if in creative, it can be quite useful. So you start by double editing a cone floor, and you high wall all around and double stair up. This is a very effective way to protect yourself and gives you a lot of option to freestyle afterwards, as you can even protect the 90 from there or run forward. So now that we're in the advanced section, if you've been playing this game for a couple of years but you're still struggling with some advanced build mechanics, or you want to get better or look a bit more flashy, these build moves could be a good starting place to learn those mechanics. So the first of the advanced builds is the ultra protected side jump. This build can trick the opponent of thinking you are doing a double edit as you place a floor cone. However, you don't, and you actually make a protected side jump. You start by placing a ramp, floor cone, edit the bottom right tile on the floor, place high walls through the cone, and side jump. So the next one is the reverse triple edit, and this one can be pretty useful in situations where you may need to trick your opponent on which direction you're going if they have height. This is how you do it. So you start by placing a ramp, floor cone, and instead of a classic double edit forward, you double edit the back tiles as you move in a 180 direction to the other side, placing a wall, editing it, and catching yourself with a floor ramp. Although this is pretty difficult to pull off as you need precise movement, and if you play on keyboard and mouse, it can be pretty bad if you have ineffective binds, but it can be very effective in fights, especially 1v1 creative fights or tokens. Next one is purely for tokens or creative warriors, but it's the fastest way to start a 1v1. You start by running to the right edge of a ramp, then sprint and jump to the bottom left of the tile, placing a ramp floor twice, then any other 90s or Clix 90s, and high walls afterwards. Next one is the Martoz Peak. The reason this is advanced is because you need exceptional awareness to pull this off at the right situation. So to start this, you double edit the floor cone to a scissor ramp, but instead you edit the bottom tile, doing a Martoz Peak and pumping your opponent. So this build was popularized by an extremely mechanically cracked player called Polarized. To start this, you scissor ramp, do a 180, place a ramp, then cone, edit the bottom tiles of the cone, wrap high walls, then cone anyone that might run into your cone. After that, you can full box piece and pump them. So for the last one, this is purely creative mode only, as it wastes too many mats, but it's extremely protective. To do this, wrap walls all around. Center your crosshair back to the middle, edit the wall, and loop this infinitely. This is what it looks like from your opponent's POV. That's it for this video. If you guys found this guide useful, make sure to like and subscribe. Hit that bell for more videos like this, and don't forget to use code sodipher in the item shop, #ad.